Hey guys, welcome to English 111. My name's Miss Toline. All of my information is up here if you need access to it. And this is the course policies document, which you can find in the course information section of the Moodle page. And I wanted to go over really quickly a few of our general policies. I'm expecting you to read this document, but I'm going to hit some of the highlights just to make sure that you guys are clear on certain things. Number one is you are required to utilize the text for our class. It's a book called Reflections by Kathleen McWhorter. And if you need the title or the ISBN, it's located in the syllabus. So look in the class syllabus for that. You can get a hard copy or an ebook. Either one is fine. Doesn't matter to me which one you choose. I'm going to use the hard copy, but you guys can access either one. They're both fine. In addition to the textbook, we're going to use Moodle, and you probably already have that because you wouldn't have been able to access this information otherwise. But please make sure that you're checking your Moodle account every week because that's how I'm going to get assignments to you. That's how we're going to communicate because it's an online course. We also have live text, and live text I'm going to go into more detail about later in the semester, but it's a program through which you're going to be required to submit your final assignment, your research paper. And they have to go through live text. It's a university requirement, and this is something that you guys got access to when you registered for the university. So you've already paid for it, you already have it. You just may not realize that you have it. So if you're not sure how to access your live text, that's something to review with either your advisor or somebody from your department, or you can speak to the IT department and they can help you get access to live text. Excuse me, I'm a little sick this week. So these are both absolutely necessary, so please make sure you have access to them. Word processing software, so something like Microsoft Word or Pages, if you have a Macintosh, will be necessary for submitting papers because we're going to type everything in our class. So make sure you have something that you can type on. And if you're using the computer lab, computers in the computer lab should already come with Microsoft Word. Grading of assignments throughout the semester. So we have 5 total essays in the class. You can see that here. And each of your essays is worth 100 points. However, I will drop the lowest score from your first 4 essays. So that does not include the research paper. Everybody does the research paper. It counts towards everyone's grade. But from your first 4, you can drop 1 essay, which means you can just decide not to do it, or you can do all of them, and whichever one you score the lowest on, I'll just drop the grade. So either of those 2 is an option. So that's why there's 5 essays, but they're worth 400 points. And again, remember, that doesn't count the research paper. You have to do the research paper. Everybody gets graded on it. You can have some participation assignments throughout the semester. Those points are relatively easy to get as long as you're following instructions. And that's going to give you 200 total points. Doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get them. They're just pretty easy to get. I don't grade super hard on participation activities. Because the goal of these things is to work you up towards your essay grades. So I try to make them genuinely participation based. And then you have a final exam, which is going to be taken in November, not during regular final exam times. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But it's called the Writing Proficiency Exam, and it's worth 150 points, which is 20% of your total grade. So your total possible is 750 points. And there's some notes about how those things are scored that you guys can look at. And some detail about the WPE, which I'm going to return to in a separate video. We use 10-point scale, 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, etc. In my class, so I'm going to get the scary things out of the way up front. There are 2 ways that you can earn an automatic 0 in my class. The first one is if you submit something that's off topic. So for every essay, I'm going to give you a prompt. And your prompt talks about the different things that you can write the essay about. And they're usually pretty specific, and there's reasons for that. It's because my assignments build on one another. So if you submit something that didn't answer any of the prompt questions, that seems to not, like you submitted something you didn't even look at the prompt and it's off topic, automatic 0, I'm not going to grade it. And for this particular automatic zero, you don't get a chance to fix it because following directions is something you need to do up front. It should be very clear what the topics are. You should be able to do this. And so this automatic zero can't be fixed. So make sure that you're submitting things that are on topic. It's very easy to do. Just read the prompts. And make sure that you're, paying attention to what they're asking you for. And if you have clarification questions, come to me with those so I can help you make sure that your topic works within the confines of the prompt. Second thing that can earn you an automatic zero is academic dishonesty, so plagiarism. Plagiarism means that you submitted some work that wasn't yours. Either you submitted an essay written by somebody else, or you submitted essays that have large chunks that appear to come from outside sources that you haven't cited, that you haven't quoted and said, this is where I got this information. And we'll talk more about that. I'm going to do a whole video on it. So if you plagiarize, you will get an automatic zero for that assignment. But with plagiarism, you get a chance. You have one chance to rewrite it. You can fix it. After that one chance, any other essay that you hand in that has plagiarism, I'm going to assume at that point you've learned what it is, you've learned not to do it. So if you do it again, results in an automatic course failure. So at that point, I say, you can't pass my class, you plagiarized twice, and I hand you over to the academic honesty people to decide how they want to proceed. So at that point, I don't grade any more of your work. So those are the two automatic zeros. Most people don't do those, but I have to talk about them up front just to make sure that you guys are clear about the policy. The other kind of scary policy, the scary things up front, is the late work policy, but I try not to make it too scary. For late work, one time you can have a late assignment that's late up to 1 week. So say it was due on the 20th and you hand it in on the 27th. If it's the first time that you've done that, you don't have to explain anything to me. It's just late. And I'm not going to ask any questions, and I won't even deduct points from you for that first late assignment. After you've had that first oopsie, it's an oopsie, right? I messed up, didn't mean to, sorry about that. After that first late one, any additional late assignments automatically deducted 1 letter grade. So for essays that are worth 100 points, that would be 10 points. If it's worth more than that, it'd be a larger number of points, 1 letter grade. And they have to be accompanied by a late work form, which I'm going to put in the course information section of the Moodle site. When you hand something in late after that first oopsie, it's up to me whether I take it or not. So if I take it, it's 1 letter grade off. If I don't take it, if I think that you didn't provide me with a good enough excuse, or if you had a bunch of late assignments and I've told you, hey, you got to start turning stuff in on time, then I might not take it. So it's up to me whether I take that late work. If you have questions about this, please ask them before you have a late assignment. So if you think you're going to be late, communicate with me about that.